Here's more wrestling news for December 14th, 2021. And your headlines for this afternoon include Xia Li talks about her sister's reactions to seeing her vignettes for her SmackDown debut, news on why WWE Day 1 ticket sales have picked up, Hannibal tells his side of the story after bloody incident where he attacked referee with a spike, GoFundMe organized for referee Hannibal stabbed at independent show, Nobody Wants Me. Released WWE wrestler details the struggles she faced following WWE release. Did WWE do the right thing by splitting Miz and Maurice? Jimmy Rave passes away at age 39. Vince McMahon, Stephanie McMahon, and Nick Khan make Sports Business Journal Most Influential list. Brian Myers reveals ECW legend is now sober. Bronson Reed opens up about why he was angry after WWE release, and more. We are kicking off with SmackDown as Xia Li recently debuted on the Blue brand, aiding Naomi in her war with Sonya Deville. Her debut last Friday comes after unique vignettes highlighting her past and family, which has been well received by the WWE Universe. Unsurprisingly, Li's own family are also very excited to see her on SmackDown, and in an interview with Screen Rant, the 33-year-old superstar explained just how much this means to her sister. "I remember I showed my sister the vignette. She was crying just like me, and she knew where all the story came from. She had the same feeling as me, so she told me she's very proud of me." Li has had just one televised appearance on SmackDown, but has already become part in one of the longest-running feuds on WWE TV at the moment, and we'll have to see how she and Naomi fare against the trio of Shayna Baszler, Natalya, and Sonya Deville. On January 1st, WWE will host WWE Day 1, its first pay-per-view to happen on New Year's Day, and ticket sales have reportedly picked up. This weekend, there were just 1,612 seats left for the show, according to WrestleTix, out of the 7,892 tickets initially distributed. In their report, WrestleTix added that upper decks have expanded to allow more fans for the show, as that 7,892 ticket number is 83% of the total 9,594 capacity of State Farm Arena in Atlanta. There's no confirmed reason as to what caused ticket sales to pick up, but the several high-profile matches confirmed recently, including the Universal title match between Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar, as well as the in-ring return of Edge against The Miz, are likely factors. WWE has struggled in recent years to sell out shows including TV tapings, pay-per-views, and live events, but the company is hoping that the success of Day 1 so far will be a sign of good things to come for the rest of 2022. At an indie show last weekend, referee Lando Del Toro was brutally attacked by Devin Nicholson, better known as Hannibal. Given that Hannibal sued Abdullah the Butcher for giving him hepatitis C during a match, you'd think he'd be more careful about bloodshed in the ring, but during a match with Carlito, Nicholson grabbed Del Toro and stabbed him several times in the head with a spike. There's been calls for Hannibal to never work in the wrestling industry again after this attack, but that's not what the man himself thinks should happen. In a video statement, Hannibal expressed his side of the story, first claiming that he quit World Class Pro Wrestling and that he wasn't fired by the indie promotion. He then went on to claim that Del Toro was hired to bleed, saying he's known as a bleeder in the industry and only officiated that one match. Hannibal then argued that he'd never handled the blade before, only when he was in the ring with it, and had trouble seeing what he was doing due to the mesh in his mask's eye holes. Blaming Del Toro, Hannibal said that the referee was supposed to cut himself with a razor blade, but the spike was actually striking the ref's head, and said that Del Toro was in the wrong for not letting Hannibal know he was really hitting him. Ending his video, Hannibal said that when he spoke to Del Toro the next day, he said they were cool, and addressing a report by TMZ, the wrestler said they had never tried to contact him as they claim. Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful has reported that Hannibal has already lost one booking following the incident and is expected to lose more, but according to the man himself, none of this was his fault. Del Toro's injuries were graphic and required staples to stop the bleeding, and now a GoFundMe has been set up to help him out. The GoFundMe has been set up by Kelly Gibson, a friend of Del Toro, who in the page's description said that Hannibal went crazy and just would not stop. So far, the GoFundMe has raised over $4,400 of its $10,000 goal, and the proceeds raised will help pay for Del Toro's medical costs. On Twitter, Del Toro has said that what happened wasn't a work, meaning it wasn't a planned part of the show, and we're sending our best to the referee after the barbaric attack. On June 25th this year, WWE released Marina Shafir among other NXT talent as part of the never-ending budget cuts. This week, Shafir will compete on AEW Dark in only her second match since being released from WWE following working GCW Bloodsport 7 in October. Speaking on the Shot of Wrestling podcast, Shafir discussed her release from WWE and had a possible reason for why she's not caught the attention of more promotions. I trained with Mercedes Martinez like 6 weeks back, and it was hilarious because we were talking about what you do and how you do it matters. She goes, "You're NXT bred. Nobody wants to see me because I was raised in NXT. I don't have indie experience and I don't speak that language. I speak TV language. I speak what do the producers want language. Not that that's a bad thing. Being part of that process matters how vulnerable you can be towards people. Coming from NXT, I still get the side eye. Nobody wants me. Nobody wants the shooter from NXT who has a chip on her shoulder. Nobody f***ing wants me." Shafir may feel that her wrestling future is bleak, but the fact that she'll face Chris Statlander on Dark today is a positive sign. Whether her appearance tonight leads to more in AEW remains to be seen, but the former NXT superstar clearly believes her career so far is now holding her back. It's safe to say that professional wrestling would not be the global industry it is today without Vince McMahon, who reshaped the entire industry after buying the WWF from his father in the early 80s. This week, McMahon was named by Sports Business Journal as one of the most influential people in sports, but he wasn't the only WWE name mentioned. The publication also listed WWE Chief Brand Officer Stephanie McMahon and WWE President Nick Khan, and said that the trio, listed under the category of media influencers, have repositioned WWE, transforming it into a media business. SBJ praised the brand's huge deal with Peacock and mentioned several projects in the work, such as the Netflix docuseries on Vince and a deal with Blumhouse Television on a scripted series about WWE in the 90s. WWE continues to be a major force in a changing media landscape, starting with the early days of pay-per-views to the launch of their own 24/7 sports streaming service, and regardless what some fans may make of the in-ring product, WWE's strategy has proven to be profitable. And we've got some truly awful news now as former Ring of Honor and Impact Wrestling star Jimmy Havoc has died aged 39. This was confirmed on Twitter yesterday afternoon in a statement prepared by his agent Bill Behrens and Rave's daughter Kyla. In the statement, the pair noted how Jimmy had struggled serious setbacks this year, as a MRSA infection resulted in him losing both his legs in October, mere months after he had to have his left arm removed. Having his arm removed due to an infection had forced Rave to end his career, and a GoFundMe was launched earlier this year to help with his medical bills, with Mick Foley also raising money to help out. Debuting in October 1999, Rave made a name for himself in Ring of Honor against the likes of Bryan Danielson, AJ Styles, CM Punk, Nigel McGuinness, and countless others, and we'd like to offer our condolences to his family after this truly heartbreaking news following months of difficulties. Since returning to the main roster earlier this year, Finn Balor has had a mixed time, complete with inconsistent booking and several losses accompanied by a few wins. When he returned to SmackDown, he was immediately thrust into the Universal title picture, and while few expected the Demon to slay the Tribal Chief, things haven't been any better on Raw. Teaming up this week with US Champion Damian Priest, the pair faced the Dirty Dogs, and though on paper this seemed like an easy win for the faces, Austin Theory interjected himself to make the difference. Thanks to WWE's premier Golden Egg Thief, Balor took the pin and yet another loss, with Priest also facing a rare defeat as well. The Finn Balor-Austin Theory feud will likely commence on Raw starting next week, which means that the Prince will likely lose yet another rivalry in an unfortunate drop in status for the former Universal Champion. And we're ending today with Bronson Reed, who was released from NXT in August as the company felt he didn't fit their vision for NXT 2.0. Despite plans for a main roster call-up in the works, Reed was released, which, as you'd expect, didn't go down well with the former North American champion. While speaking with Denise Salcido of Instinct Culture, Reed, now going by Jonah, spoke about his feelings post-release, saying, "I've had things like this happen before where I was told no and that was it, but this time around I was more angry because I'd worked so hard through NXT and believed in the black and gold brand." Last month, Jonah made his debut for New Japan and Impact and was announced as the first entrant in PWG's Battle of Los Angeles, where he'll look to prove that WWE were wrong to release him when the tournament starts on January 29th. Interestingly, January 29th will be the day of WWE's 2022 Royal Rumble, and Jonah would have likely been in the Men's Rumble match, but he'll now look to funnel all his anger about being released into PWG. Well guys, that's our news for today. Please share your comments below. Also hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon to receive all notifications. And as always, thanks for watching.